Hello, this is Sandra Shevey. This week I'll be revisiting my interview with Gary Lockwood, particularly because 2001 is being shown as I speak at the Barbican Cinema in London. I interviewed Gary Lockwood at the beginning of his career, and in the interview we discussed typecasting. Curiously, Kubrick sought out Keir, Warren Beatty wanted the role, and Gary Lockwood for the two astronauts in 2001. Why he chose them is an interesting thing to ponder, and the fact that he did choose two men who go out into the sunset together or into space forevermore, in my opinion, did not have a particularly good aspect on the career of Gary Lockwood, because initially I think he could have become a huge star. He didn't. I was at the premiere of the film in New York City, after which Kubrick cut 30 or 40 minutes, hoping that we'd all understand it if he did. No one did understand the film. Only a few people understand the film even now. But if you think about it, what Kubrick was really trying to deal with, I think, is the Brave New World, which was envisaged by the Nazis and is very much a part of the world we live in today. The kind of two men going into space in a space environment forevermore, the IVF, the transgender, the cloning, all this kind of thing, I believe was the subtext of the film. So having seen it about 50 years ago, I only have begun to understand it now. Please enjoy the interview with Gary Lockwood.
Did you ever read Sterling Hayden's book, The Wanderer?
No.
Well, a lot of people haven't. It's a very interesting book because I don't know why it's so interesting, but it really did capture my imagination. I just finished it. And it's really strange all through his book. Every time he starts to get there, it doesn't make it, So I guess it just depends on certain people's minds and places and things. That's how Fellini sees it,
He's a wild man. God, is he wild.
Juliet of the Spirits, you see that
No,
one?
I didn't.
Yeah, well, I didn't like
and
it.
La Dolce Vita. But he must be so...
He's a spaced out man.
I just wonder the vibrations he gets when he sees people. He obviously sees right down to the quick of their... he really sees right down to the quick of their being and all the fantasies which emanate from the basic personality.
Well, basically, he's a fantasist, so he lays a lot of his own thing on them and maybe reinterprets it.
Yeah.
But he does one thing in his movies that I sometimes, I'm not so crazy about, and that's the only thing, is that he constantly picks those famous Fellini faces, and oftentimes I think that's a very, very heavy statement, so that's a matter of opinion again, he picks always those kind of faces. He never just has sort of a person there.
But he does. He just has...
Well, I never think so.
He just has super people.
Yeah, but everybody is super pretty or super ugly. And
that's not true, because people's face physiognomy, I think, is very directly related to people's souls. And I think...
Well, you and I wouldn't be in a Fellini movie.
I think I could be.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I don't
think
think
he
you
could
could.
be, too.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, of course.
No, he
Well, for instance, the guy, the blonde guy and the other one, the dark one. Well, he looked like a Warren Beatty, quote-unquote, type.
Oh, yes.
Hiram Keller.
Yeah.
He could be, and a Hollywood guy, the producer could say, oh, I'm going to, cast him in a lot of slick, sex boy kind of films and have him make it all
With
the
a
time.
motorcycle.
Yeah, right. But Fellini, he just looks one dimension deeper.
Yeah.
So he sees people's faces just not on the superficial level of pretty, ugly, typecasting character. He really sees the face and all it emotionally signifies. And I think that's what makes it interesting.
But I'm saying as a film statement I still think that, it's a tremendous edge to the filmmaker. And sometimes the audience is riding on the glory of the face as opposed to sometimes the subliminal content.
Yeah, it just adds another dimension, though. You can
Well, it's a matter of opinion, Sandy. Again, we're arguing.
Okay, I get it.
I sometimes think that, typecasting is sometimes typecasting is the failure of cinema. I really believe that.
Then you would like Bergman. I guess you might prefer, because with him...
I think for me personally, I find him the finest filmmaker in the whole world. I think he's a man who sort of, in a funny sort of way, can do it all. I have a friend who years ago worked for him, and, he could actually paint sets and things. Not saying that Fellini couldn't, but, I'm not into an argument between these two people, really.
No, but I guess you prefer...
I just prefer Bergman because,
It's not as planted.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, kind of happens between you and what's happening, rather than something which you feel he's overseeing and trying to, manipulate you.
I do, really.